Hello there.
Hello there.
Well, here's some good news for us all. Veganism is becoming unfashionable. After all those years of them trying to wean us off of meat, suddenly the people are beginning to eat more meat. Veganism is unpopular, and this is what they wanted to stop you eating. Look at that luscious piece of steak. Wouldn't you love that? Doesn't it make your mouth water just looking at it? But they don't want you eating that, Richard. Not at all. What they want you to do is eat these instead. Anything else but meat. That's what they want you to do. Oh, yes, you will be having that. The EU has eased the rules on it.
No,
the
not eating
EU
that.
has eased the rules.
Don't care. Not eating that.
Yes, you will.
No, not going to happen. No, I'm not eating that.
Anyway, what do you reckon, Richard?
Okay, so interesting you're saying this because it's all in the Telegraph, you see. Yes, the Daily Telegraph. It says here, even health-conscious Gen Z or Gen Z, however, whichever continent you're on, even health-conscious Gen Z are eating meat again, citing the cost of living and changing perceptions of what constitutes a nutritious diet. Oh, okay. Meat is making a comeback. Yes, that's right. After a dismal few years for carnivores who felt constantly judged by an army of virtue-signaling vegans. And it's not vegans, Jeff, it's vegans. Veganism now seems to be in sharp decline. Oh, dear, dear, dear. In fact, the next generation is moving in the opposite direction, according to a survey by UK non-profit Eating Better. 19% of 18 to 24-year-olds in the UK actually increased their meat intake in 2024 compared to 16% who reduced their consumption. Oh, so it looks like it really is on its way out there, Jeff. They're not too happy with that one, are they? The Generation ZZs, whatever they're called. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Jeff? Are you going to start? Are you going to give up being vegan now because you've been vegan for how long?
I haven't been vegan at all. In fact, I always called it, I thought it was vegan. Aren't they vegetables that you eat? Vegetables, so it makes it vegan.
No, they're
if
vegetables.
It was vegan, it would have to be vegetables, wouldn't it?
That would make it vegan. No, it's not vegan either. No, it's vegan. I don't know where this nonsense came from, but anyway, that's how everyone likes you to pronounce it from here on. We shall have to speak the vegan correct use their correct grammatical terms, whatever. I don't care. Anyway, so yes, indeed, I was a vegan, Jeff, and you know this.
Yeah,
I was a gluten-free vegan because I noticed that gluten wasn't very pleasing to me, and it wasn't affecting me in the kind of way that I wanted to be affected by food. So what I did is I decided, well, okay, I give up that. And then I thought, well, obviously I'd hear all this wonderful thing about being vegan, how good it is for you. And I saw that film Game Changers. That's it. I thought, oh, this is good. Even though I was on and off vegan since, oh my goodness, since 1995, probably. Yeah. And I noticed this thing is not working for me. And vegetarian. In between, obviously, I was eating meat every now and again, but the majority of the time I was vegan. Yeah.
Yep.
But I was getting sicker and fatter. And it's aged me as well. I'm only 20, for goodness sake. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, this is what happens when you're 20 years old. But jokes aside, I became ill. So I started researching diets. And then one day I saw Mr. Jordan Peterson talking about this carnivore diet. I thought, oh, I'll give that a go. And do you know what, Jeff? It worked. I was losing weight. Aside from losing weight, all of a sudden my migraines went. My blood pressure, as a vegan, went from lethal levels of stupid at highest 201 over 130. Yes, that was as a vegan. Down to 126, I think it was recently, over 75. Yet a few days later, I went back on the. I decided, well, it can't be doing that much to me. So I went back on the what you call a standard balanced diet. Bang, straight back up, 180 over 106. If you know anything about blood pressure, you know that that's pretty catastrophic. Not exactly where you want to be. 24 hours later, back on carnivore, blood pressure's coming back down and continues to fall. Interesting. Migraines, gone. Sleep apnea, gone. A multitude, a complete plethora of conditions that I had, gone. Going carnivore. So I'm wondering if these vegetables are good for you at all, to be honest with you. There's a lot of doctors out there, Jeff, who are questioning if vegetables have any merit whatsoever. I mean, I'm serious. You look at Dr. Anthony Chaffee. Oh, good grief. There's a load of them. It's just, yeah. So what are your thoughts?
Well, it's I've always generally gone on the good old fashioned British healthy diet. You know, sort of the Brussels sprouts, the peas, and the meat and the veg, and the potatoes. This sort of thing. It never seems to have done me any harm, really. So I've sort of soldiered on with it, and I got to the grand old age of 67. Yeah, so I'm still surviving. I'm still thriving at the moment. But the thing is that it comes down to whether you take it out of a can or you have I'm not saying organic, but you peel the things yourselves, take it out of a plastic bag and peel it yourself, whatever it is you do with it before you cook it yourself. If you're going to eat pre-prepared stuff, you don't really know what's in it, and that's the sort of thing that scares me more than natural food, as I would put it. But there's another aspect to this as well, which I looked up just before we came online. I don't know whether you know, but the whole WEF, World Economic Forum idea, is that they wean us off of all meat and dairy products, all of them, everything, 100% by the year 2050. You won't eat meat. It will not be available. In fact, it will probably be illegal to eat it. So they've got to replace it with something else. And one of the things is you can make it from insects, stuff like that, and try and make meat from that. And the other is, as I've said so many times before, the Frankenstein meats and Frankenstein milks that you can get out of a factory. What they do is they take a calf and they take a DNA sample of it, and then they feed that into a system which makes all the chemicals and gunk replicate that and throws it out as a steak. They shape it and color it. It's just gloop, and that's what they do. And then they say, there is your healthy steak direct from our factory, cleaner than any farmyard. And that's how it will be marketed. But it seems that younger generations are going back more towards meats, proper meat. And also the other thing is that the sales of full fat milk have increased in the UK in recent years. This is the AI overview of the question I put in, which is sale of full fat milk increases. And it says it's grown due to a growing preference for whole foods and less processed foods. And also earlier this month, on the 1st of February, the Guardian put out an article. Last year, supermarket sales of whole milk grew slightly faster than those of plant-based milk, up 1.2% and 0.9% respectively. So the sale of plant-based milk did go up, but the sale of normal whole milk grew. But the thing is that semi-skilled and skim milk fell by 2.4%, 0.7% respectively. So people are gradually waking up to the fact that proper wholesome foods, like proper wholesome milk from a cow that's had as little preparation as possible, is very good for you, and people are waking up to this. So and it's also Oils, Fats and International said 4 days ago that the full fat milk and butter sales rise in the UK as consumers' appetite for low calorie options drops. So people aren't so much worried. They want they're looking for wholesome food.
Yes, they want food.
More,
they want actual food. I mean, interesting little point here. I think I learned it was on. There's a really good channel I watch, Jeff, called Tasting History, and I recommend everyone subscribes to that. Brilliant channel. But apparently, almonds. People were making almond milk in the I think it was in the medieval era. So that's quite interesting. That was. But anyway, I've tried all these different milks, and we were taught, fat bad for you, creates cholesterol, clogs your arteries. No, it's now looking like it's not dietary fat that clogs your arteries. It's your body's response to carbohydrates. And vegetables, incidentally, that could be causing this issue. Look, I'm not a doctor. I'm just some bald idiot on YouTube. So don't listen to a word I'm saying. But I do listen to experts, and many of those experts, not all, but many of those experts are quite convinced that vegetables are not so good for you. You mentioned Brussels sprouts. Now, here's a question for you, Jeff. If I was to say, right, okay, all you can eat today is steak, would you be happy? Would you be okay with that?
I could eat that, yeah.
Yeah.
I could do that.
So if I say all you can eat today is Brussels sprouts.
Not so sure about that one.
Yeah, okay.
I don't mind them as an addition.
Yeah, okay. As an addition.
Peas, carrots,
but the thing is,
gravy,
Yeah, but in our natural environment, we were never actually presented with things in you got what you could grab. Hunter-gatherers, most of it was hunting. Gathering was a very small part of it, and seasonal as well, incidentally, especially in Europe. So you'd basically be living a ketogenic diet, eating a ketogenic diet, a carnivore diet. You'd be having milk, eggs, and meat. You wouldn't even have cheese or butter back then initially. So those were later additions. So that's what you'd be living off. And that's the way our bodies developed, I believe, on what they're most naturally aligned towards. If you were dropped in a jungle right now, would you go out hunting broccoli?
Only if I was armed with a shotgun in for self-protection.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll take that as a no. Would you go hunting carrots, peas? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You'd think, oh, look at that. It's running away from me. I can eat that. I'll have that. I'll have some of that. Thank you very much. That's the way it works. That's the way we are wired up, I mean, it's just natural. I mean, when did you last see a cave painting of a salad? No, exactly. There's no such thing. So people knew what they needed to eat, and they ate it, and they chose it. I'm telling you. That's what they did.
You're looking the wrong way.
Where have you gone? Anyway, so there we are. So veganism's on its way out. Well, it makes sense, really, because people are just finding that, you can't physically perform as you did as a vegan. I don't care what you're going to tell me. I've done it. I've done veganism. I've done gluten-free vegan. You try that one. I've done nightshade-free gluten-free vegan, okay, for periods of time. Oh, yeah. No tomatoes, no potatoes, no peppers, no chilies. You try that one. So don't talk to me about the health benefits of veganism. I tried it, and I've been there. And don't say, oh, you did it wrong. Really? Did I? Okay, so I tried every permutation of the vegan diet, and I was still ill. Bang! I turn carnivore. Next thing you know, I'm sprinting. I'm age 51, coming to 52, and I'm sprinting. And I was doing it about 4 times a week. And I'm only just now recovering from getting very ill by reintroducing vegetables. Well, there you go. And it's not all about me, ladies and gentlemen. Look, you're entitled to your own opinion. If you're a vegan, right, give me a load of rubbish down below. Say that, oh, I'm a meat murdering, blah, blah, blah. Look, I just want to live.
Right.
I just want to be healthy. I want to live, And
right now
it was killing me. And there you go.
Yeah. Understood.
So there you go, Jeff.
Now, the question I've got now is, so if by 2050 everyone is going vegan by force, if necessary, right, what's going to happen to all the sheep in the Welsh hills? What's going to happen to all the cattle that we've got? What's going to happen to all the pigs that we've got and all the chickens? Do you know what will happen to them? Yeah, I'll tell you what will happen to them. At some stage between now and 2050, someone will have to go out there and kill them all. Just about all of them.
No, they won't.
No.
Yes,
they will.
No.
They'll have to go out and cull the lot.
No.
Because what we need to do is free up the land for all that vegan produce. And that means getting rid of all the sheep, getting rid of all the pigs. We'll have to kill them all.
No, they would be put in hotels. They would be given equal rights and put in hotels. That's what will happen. And we can't be sheepophobic. And Angela Rayner will be doing a new law against chickenophobic and salmon-phobic, because you won't be able to eat salmon or fish either. So, you know, I'm telling you, that's the way it's going. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the real problem, because which of the vegans is going to go out and do that culling job? Either that, or they're going to have to poison them all slowly, or they're going to have to give them birth control pills or something. But you can't have them wandering around. The cows would have to be eradicated from the fields by someone.
Sorry, I got a chicken condom in my head.
Yes, I thought you might somewhere. But this is a problem. So instead of killing them to eat them, the vegans would kill them to not eat them, to bury them. And because they'd insist on there still being the British countryside with the odd field with a few in, we'd have to control them. And oh dear, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Why can't we just continue as we have done for thousands and hundreds of thousands of years and eat these things, because that's how we're built. And people mucking around with our food and allowing them to basically force us to live, we have to eat the gunk they give us, would be an extremely stupid thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
There might be some vegans watching this who right. I want to tackle this issue as well, because I've got a few friends who are vegan. They're like, you know, what about the poor animals? Blah, blah. Look, I get it. I really do. You know, and I'm actually of the mindset, believe it or not, that I don't like the way we have industrial farming today. That's, I mean, you look at our ancestors, right? And they used to kill the animals themselves. And I'm actually of the opinion that maybe we should be closer to the death process, instead of just having it on a supermarket in front, letting somebody else do this for us. You know, maybe we should. If you want to eat meat, do it yourself. It creates an emotional. You know, would I still do it? Yes, I would. I'd probably be bloody upset as well, actually, doing it. But it's a reminder of what we are. We live this incredibly artificial lifestyle today, where our meat just comes in. Most people think, especially in Labour, okay, and most of that lot in Labour, yes, no, not us lot, that lot in Labour, but that lot in Labour, they probably think that meat just comes from the supermarket, that a chicken is this like thing that just arrives there, that milk it miraculously appears on the shelf. That's the way that half of those people think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the queue at the supermarket? You go, you know, the first thing you go is you go and get your milk, don't you? So the first thing that would happen is, here's your bottle.
Oh yeah.
Straight into your container, and hope you don't get kicked in the process. Then you walk further down, and then you see a sort of a self-service big leg of meat. You go, fancy that bit. Get the chung.
Well, I don't know about the carving up. I don't know about that part. But I do. I think, you know, getting your milk straight from your farm, turning up with your own churn every day. What's wrong with that? I'm not saying that will put milkmen out of business. And I'm going to start having my milk delivered. There's a great milk service local to me, and that's how you should do it, ladies and gentlemen, as well. Please use your local milkman if you can. I know we live in a very, as I said, artificial society where, you know, you just make a phone call and something just arrives at your doorstep. Of course, the milkman does exactly that. But at least with the milkman, you can actually do a very nice bit of traceability there. It's like my milkman will not have anything with Bovaer, whatever it's called, in his. He won't buy any of that milk, and none of his suppliers do that. So, you know, it's quite handy to know these things. There we go, Jeff. I think we've rabbited on enough here.
Well, I just want to sort of finish off with part of the Telegraph. It says here that the question is, have we really escaped the clutches of the vegan cult? And But the CEO of food and drink consultancy HRA Global is quoted here. His name's Hamish Renton, as saying, "The party is most definitely over. We had the boom. Now this is the correction. Food has always been a fashion, and this is a prime example." It's like when everybody goes, when pizzas were first, and all the rest of it. And when in the 70s, the fruit cocktail appeared, or the prawn cocktail, everybody started having them, and then it all disappears, doesn't it, over time? So,
Yes.
yeah. I think this is just another one. And it's also backed up by the virtue signaling, holier than thou. I don't eat anything with a face on it. These sorts of things. So just go to your nearest orchard, paint a face on every apple and see what happens. Anyway, on that note, I think we've said enough.
Absolutely.
So it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him. Goodbye.